Hello, I'm your daily witch. You know what? Maybe I'm just gonna change it. I love your morning witch though. I don't know, but either way, today's Saturday. It's December 27th, and we're gonna keep talking about spirit guides for beginners as far as connecting with them, getting to know them, that kind of thing. And I'm just gonna say, I am still in love with this robe my mother got me for Christmas. Isn't that fabulous? And it's got thingies. Anywho, okay, so spirit guides for beginners. We're talking about connecting with spirit guides. You can check out yesterday's video to see the information that was shared there. But we're going to keep on that thread and move further down. So, for one, spirit guides. Most people say spirit guides, and there's a reason for that. Most people tend to have multiple spirit guides. I don't know anyone who only has, I know some people that believe they have a singular spirit guide, but then they talk about a different singular spirit guide. So whether they're taking turns or not, obviously we have multiple spirit guides involved, right? So this conversation has to do with the idea of the multiple spirit guides that are involved in guiding us through this life, okay? Now, have you ever seen the movie Heart and Souls? It's one of my favorite Robert Downey Jr. movies. It is about a group of spirits that, if I remember correctly, they all died in the same bus crash that either the woman who was pregnant with this boy was on, or the child as a baby was on the bus, or maybe they were just near the hospital where the kids being born. I'm not sure. Don't remember that part. One of my favorite childhood movies. Okay, Okay, so in this movie, there's 6 or 7 different spirit guides following Robert Downey Jr. around his whole life. Okay, there comes a point where they're really detrimental to him in his childhood, and so he is sent to a shrink. And then he stops talking to his spirits that are all around him. Because, everybody thinks they're imaginary friends, really they're spirits. He loses his connection. They're there all along. And then when he's an adult, all of a sudden something happens and he can see them and talk to them again. And he's like, what the fuck? But, what a fucking blessing. Because they were there for him his entire life. And your spirit guides too. Okay, I digress. Anyway, the whole point is, in this movie, we have a bunch of different people that are this one individual spirit guides. And these people are not the same. One of the spirits, I'm pretty sure, is played by Kira Sedgwick. Pretty sure one is Alfred Woodard. I'm pretty sure one is a guy whose name I don't know, but his face I do know, because as an actor, I love him. He's great. He was in the 4400, which was a show on USA a couple decades ago. Anyway, it doesn't matter. In the movie, each of the spirit guides has different ideals about, how this person should be moving through life, right? And so if you've seen this movie, this is how I interpret my spirit guides, okay, for one. 2, this is a very good representation, I believe, of how spirit guides operate. But from a standpoint of connecting with them, it's a good visual from understanding that your different spirit guides are going to be different. So when you're trying to connect to your spirit guides, it is very beneficial, and all of that was to lead up to this point, okay? It's very beneficial to try to meet them one at a time. You can work with them however you want, but when we're connecting, when we're meeting them, when we're trying to find out about said spirit guide, the best way to operate in the beginning when we are meeting them is to work with them individually, just like with people. That way we can learn their individual personality, their individual modes of operating, their individual energy, so that from a point of communication and connection, we can identify which guide we're working with based on a lot of different things. And a lot of those things will be determined in the process of getting to know your spirit guide. You'll learn their name, you'll learn their voice. you can train yourself a certain way of experiencing yes and no from your guides so that you know how they communicate. Or maybe if you are more advanced, you already have a way of communicating with them and you're aware of how they're answering you. When you're new, some people don't know. So if somebody like doesn't know how to interpret their spirit guides or how to like connect, don't judge, guys. Like, until you know, you don't know. But starting individually, one at a time. And like, maybe all the women will come first at once, and that's okay. Meet all of them and then ask individually, like, okay, you know, this one, will you please, you know, introduce yourself, tell me your name, whatever. And so you're still working on one-on-one, but you're not disrespecting your guides if they choose to come, like, if they choose to come forward in certain groupings. Meet them in that grouping and then deal with them one-on-one to find out the information that you want for connecting with your guides. It's a beautiful experience, and I hope that you have a great time with this. And if you have any questions or you have any suggestions on some subject in line with this that I haven't touched on, let me know in the comments and I will gladly cover it as we move through this week. Bye, everybody.